What's up, everybody? So, make sure my comments is on. All right, so I'm doing an update for you guys, so you can see all the yarn that I've spun so far this year. Um, it's overcast today and a little drizzly, so I won't be able to do it outside like I was hoping to. So we're gonna do it this way. First, I'm gonna show y'all um, crochet I've been working on. I finished my future grandson's baby blanket. His mom picked it up yesterday. I didn't take any pictures and stuff of it. It's basically a scrap uh, granny square blanket. So first we have a market bag that I finished. It's a navy blue cotton and a yellow cotton. I should have did my other camera. Hold on. Let's see if I can switch it out. See if we can switch cameras. Yeah. All right. Hey. So this is the bag. And then this is another bag. And this is what I've been doing with the cotton yarn. Some of the cotton yarn is the Knit Picks Dishy cotton yarn. Here's another bag. This one has buttons. And so that's what some of these colors you see is the Dishy from Knit Picks. When the We Crochet open, like, and this is a liner, like a purse liner that you can get for like $8 or $9 off of Amazon. So you can like switch out your purse liner with, you can just put all your stuff in your purse liner and then switch bags. And they have different style purse liners. They even have some for backpacks with like a backpack organizer if you have a messy kid and stuff like. This is the one I finished yesterday, and it's in purples, dreamy. But it's cotton. It's a good way to get rid of a bunch of cotton you have. Make bags with them. The bags don't take long. Like this handle is a knit handle, because I wanted it to have some give, but I also wanted it to have some snapback. That sometimes you don't get that when you crochet. And then I have some with the leftover. I have like some drying towels. Like what I use these for is I lay them in front of my dish organizer in front of my sink, and I put my glasses up there upside down to dry on it. And then you can just throw them in the wash. So I have several of these that I use down in my kitchen. So that's what I did with the leftover yarn is I made kitchen items with it, like another dishcloth and dishcloth, a larger little towel that you can use to dry stuff on, or you can use it for a kitchen towel. Some more um, dishcloths, hot pads, around circular dishcloths or face cloths. Because this cotton is pretty soft, the dishy cotton. And that was some leftover. All right, so those are all the items that I have completed doing my sabbatical from work because of my vision issues, basically having cataracts and being blind issues. So I went to my follow-up appointment today for the left eye, and everything looks great. So I can go back to work basically for a week, because then on October the 1st, I'll be going back out of work to have surgery on the right eye, and then I'll be out of work until my follow-up appointment for the right eye. Well, that's fine with me. It is what it is. It has to be done. And so I basically have almost 20/20 vision in my left eye without and the vision isn't perfect right now. It has like a little bit of a not focused, but that's because of the right eye still, being with the cataract, not being able to see out of that right eye. So my left eye is trying to compensate, which is why my vision is still a little wonky in that eye, because it gets tired overcompensating. I mean, I don't even feel like I'm sitting pretty. That's it's weird. Okay, so let's get down to the yarn. Oh, I didn't put this thing back on. Y'all might not even been able to see me. Hey, how you doing, our hearts with arts? So let's get down to the hand spun yarn. The spinning wheel that I use is a Spinolution Queen Bee. Now my Queen Bee is one of the first generation Queen Bees. I actually had the bee, which was the original wheel, and then they had an upgrade where you can send your bee in to them, and then they would upgrade your wheel for, I think it was like $120. So they upgraded my wheel from a bee to a queen bee. Still use all the same bobbins and stuff, so that was awesome. And once I get all my vision stuff taken care of and everything, I'm gonna start saving up so that I can upgrade this to the king bee, so that I can use their what is it called? Woolly winder. They developed their own woolly winder for their wheels. So I gotta save up so I can upgrade my machine model. I'll still have this one too, because this is what I've always spun on. Besides drop spindles, like, there's a video with my drop spindle collection on it, and I think it was like 70 some drop spindles, and that doesn't count drop spindles that I've given away to people I've talked to spin. So I've had a lot more than that. So let's get started with the spinning. So this first bag of hand spun is from January until around March. And most of this, and there's like 13 or 15 skeins that I don't have, and those are all in pink. So I gave away the pink yarns, in almost all of them was from Romney Fiber. A couple were Falkland, and I think one was a combination of Falkland and pink acrylic that I had from Hobby Lobby's Showstopper, which is like 20% wool and 80% acrylic. And they had a pink one, like it was like a bubblegum pink. And so I had one skein that was that fiber of that pink. But all of that has been given away. All that pink is gone out of my life. Thank you. So let's get started. Hopefully these colors show up good for y'all. I still have to label these, and what I'm using to label them, these are like, those little tags that you get from like when you go to the fair or clubs or whatever, and they put those little bracelets on you. That's what these are. My friend Barb sent these to me, a Flaming Fiber podcast, and so that's what I've been labeling these with. And so the ones in this bag still have to be labeled, and almost all of this fiber is Falkland, except for maybe one or two skeins. I can tell, I'm not Falkland, but Romney, and I can tell just by the feel of it. Romney is a hard wearing workhorse type of fiber, and it tends to soften with use and age, but it's really good for making things like the body of a hat, mittens, If you're not sensitive to wool on your feet and stuff, hard wearing work boot socks, stuff like that, coats, things aren't going to be next to skin, but it does tend to soften with age. So it's pretty close. So this is one of the skeins, and is some this is some wool that my husband and I dyed several years ago, and I finally got around to spinning it. Now, this one is not Falkland. This one is some Homestead Wool and Gift Farm, Della's CVM wool roving. And so that's what this is. It's a light brown, almost a more, but not quite. This is a more Falkland. I have some more of that. It's like orange and fuchsia pinks. And then this was one that was in grays. Now this one is some alpaca. I'm thinking, after I wash it, I'll know if it was 100% alpaca, if it was 100% wool and alpaca blend. So there's like one. I have like 21 bobbins, and I always hold one back to ply off of, and I'll take the smallest bobbin of yarn and ply it first, so that'll free up another bobbin. So and I try to squeeze as much fiber as possible onto the bobbin, so I can get more than actually 20 skeins off of it, because I'm packing over 5 ounces of fiber onto each of these. These bobbins are designed to be 4-ounce bobbins, but I can get 5 ounces, and it depends on how fine I spin it. Sometimes I can get even more than that up there. So there's going to be some more alpaca in there, because sometimes you need a break from stuff. I love natural colored fibers more than I like dyed fibers, but so then I was like doing all the blues, all the oranges, all the grays. So here's some more of the oranges. And there's enough of that orange to make a nice baby blanket or a coat or something. I'm gonna put all that orange over there together, and then put all the blues together. There we go. Yes. And so here's some more of the alpaca, and this time I spun some of the dark alpaca and some of the different light alpacas together. You see how that will look. Some more orange, some more blues. If you followed me for a while, then you know I used to have all those braids of fiber hanging up behind me. Well, all those loose braids of fiber have been spun up. Only thing that's left now is this. That's all that's left of the fiber me and my husband dyed. So maybe about 7 or 8. And so for my next spin, after I finish spinning this bag of fiber down here, is going to be to finish spinning up the rest of that fiber to get it on out of that cubicle. So there's 3 more skeins. And then this is what this one is this one was real pretty. It has purple, some greens, some mauve, and this one is Rambouillet. This one was Rambouillet that my husband dyed. And Rambouillet is my absolute favorite fiber to spin. And then this is another one that he dyed, and this one is Falkland. He has fun dyeing, so And this one is some fiber that my friend Jana prepared for us, and it's called pumpkin spice. And this was done several years ago, and I found a small bag of it that I still had, and I spun that up. And then the last one in that bag is some more of the CVM fiber right there. So there's 2 skeins of the CVM. And all of these are 3 plies. The only time I do 2 plies if somebody requested, a friend or something that might want some lace. I rarely do a 2 ply unless it's for somebody specifically trying to get some hand spun and a lace weight yarn. So let me get these out of the way. That is pretty. Now that's gonna make. I'm gonna leave that one out because I think I'm gonna cake that one up and make a headband or something like that. So I'm trying to put all the colors, the same colors in. Like this one was end up being more of a marbled look to it. Because I think this one was traditionally plied like 3 skeins of yarns. That's why those are marble instead of the chain ply. When you chain ply, your colors tend to stay together and end up more of a striping type of yarn versus when you use the 3 bobbins and do a 3 ply that way. I rarely do that because I like the motion of chain plying. I just love the way that feels. All right, so all these are back in their bag and they got to be labeled. So I'm going to put them back over here in the corner. Get the next bag. Now, this next bag of fiber, of yarn, was spun from March until June of this year. These were spun before I had to take a break from my work because of the cataracts in my eyes. So this is some Into the World fiber that was given to me by my friend Barbara of in the colors that's better. It's a little bit, it's more of a like a it's that's a little muted. It has a sheen to it that's not coming across to me anyway. Like I said, my vision is still kind of jacked up because my right eye hasn't been fixed. But this was so easy, such an easy spin. And the fiber content is 4 ounces. This is a luxe base, so it's BFL and silk. So it said 4 to 4.3 ounces, but this is more along the lines of 5 ounces. It was more than the label said, which, you know, a spinner is always appreciative no matter, you know. So this is some Falkland, some more that my husband dyed. It is like a seafoam green with some blues in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. And this one, this bag is starting to break down. Yeah. Oh well. I think we got it at Aldi's. But this was some that my husband dyed, and this is some Falkland as well. The little white flecks is plastic from the inside of this bag, so I gotta put this in something else. This bag's gonna get tossed. And I just bought this bag this year from Wegmans. Yeah, it's from Wegmans. I'll have to take it back over there and tell them y'all need to give me a new bag. So this is some Homestead Wool and Gift Farm. This is some Rambouillet wool, and it was a total of 6 ounces. So there's 2. I think the other skein of it is I think I gave it away. I gave some wool to somebody. I'll see people sometimes and I'll just give them stuff. So yeah, but this was what that is. And it's, well, that might be 6 ounces because this is a bit of a thicker spin. And it also had some remnant yarn that was on a drop spindle. It's like a gray in there. That was on a drop spindle. So here's another Falkland in oranges. Yeah, that's enough to make a nice, something nice with that orange. Some more orange. And this one, what was it? This is a remnant skein. And what I call remnant, this is some Romney wool, but it was a remnant skein. And by remnant, it means that I take whatever is left over. Like you can see that Falkland, a little bit of that Falkland. You can see some of the orange, some of the different bobbins that had like a little bit of wool left on them that I couldn't fit into the other skein. I'll make one skein of yarn from that. And my friend Ashley loves these for making hats with. But I call them remnant skeins. Sometimes I'll do it on purpose. I'll set out different fibers and spin it like that on purpose. Like this one. This is a remnant skein. This is it might not be. Hold up. No, it's not a remnant skein. I just dyed over some dark gray fiber. I over dyed it to see what the colors would turn out like. Okay, so this one is some blue face Leicester that I got from Maryland Sheep and Wool. They didn't put a year on there. The year before last was the last Maryland Sheep and Wool I went to. So that's when when I would have bought this one. So that would have been 2022. I didn't go this year. No, 2023. So that would have been 2023. So I have several skeins of that. Here's another one. This one is real pretty. That's Maryland Sheep and Wool 2023. And this one is some, let me see if I can read that. Some Rambouillet from Beaver Creek. Beaver Creek Farms. That's real pretty. So this is some Falkland. Some more Falkland. A remnant skein. That'll be a nice hat. This is the Little Red Barn. Some dyed fine wool. So it doesn't have a breeze. So it's just like a what they call American wool blend. Yeah, definitely. And this one is 2 or 3 skein, 2 or 3, and this is Romney. But it's 2 or 3. Yeah, it's gonna drive me nuts. Different braids of fiber. There was like so close to the same colorway, so I just spun them up, and when I put them on the knitting knotty, I put them all on the same bundle there. So this is these little things. I'm gonna have to vacuum in here and everything now. That's messed up. I guess my husband could put it in the back of the car and have it when he needs them. This is like a sea mist green. It's like a real light, like a sea green glass. That's what I'm thinking of, sea glass. In that light green color with some dark hints on it. And then this one is some more of that purple. And this is softer. So this was from the Little Red Barn at Maryland Sheep and Wool. And more than likely, if it's not the fine wool, then it'll be a BFL. That's usually what they sell. So, and then this is some Falkland. And then this is some cone top. And this is Rambouillet. from Beaver Creek Yarns. All right, so that is my second spin of the year. And I'm going to put this yarn in this bag here. It has a few, but not many, that need to be labeled. So the ones that are labeled, I'll put in the bag. And then the other ones, I'll put in the bag with stuff that needs to be labeled. So I'm just going to go over there for now. But yeah. So that's my second spin of the year. My goal every year is to try to spin 20 pounds of fiber. That's my goal. And I'm coming very close to it this year. So got that thing. So I'm coming very close to my goal this year. So at the end of the year, I'm just going to take all these that I've spun and I'm going to put them in a bag and sit them on a scale. Maybe take it to the post office and see if they'll weigh it for me and see how much I've spun for the year. So I got these bags from the dollar store here in Virginia. Can't believe that bag is falling apart. This stuff is getting everywhere. It's even getting on my bobbin of yarn I have spinning now. So what I'm spinning now is some chocolate brown alpaca. That's what I'm spinning now. And I got a almost full bobbin on the spinning wheel. And the alpaca that I'm spinning that was given to me from my friend Jana, who used to own Windswept Farms alpaca mill here in Virginia. They moved to Tennessee, so she's in Tennessee now. And she gave up her fiber mill. That's not good. All right, so the most recent spin, I have to vacuum in here now because of this stuff, is from July till today. Well, yesterday, when I applied the last bobbin was yesterday. So that's my recent spin. And if I can get it over here, move this. This is the ones that are labeled for this year. And I put right on the band so I know what to do. Okay. All right, so we're ready. Okay, so this first game is from the sheep. His name is Arwen, and he is a Navajo churro male ram, and I have probably 3 ounces of his fiber left. But this was purchased at Maryland Sheep and Wool several years ago. Like I said, I have a ton of fiber. I probably have I ain't gonna lie, I probably got almost 80 or 90 pounds of processed fiber in this house. And so that's why my goal is to spend 20 pounds a year, because I only allow myself to purchase processed fiber now. I rarely buy fleece. If I go to a fiber event and I get a fleece, and it's usually something that I can lock spin, that the locks are just it's natural color. Like I, in particular, to Moritz, I love light brown fleeces. So if I find a light brown fleece that I can lock spin, regardless of the breed, whether it's super fine or whether it's a coarser fiber like Romney, if it has a beautiful lock structure that I can just sit there and pull the locks out of the fleece and spin them, then I will purchase either if they're part with half the fleece or the whole fleece, because I'm lock spinning it and I'm pulling it free and spinning it in the grease. And so yeah. But anyway, this is Arwen. He is a Navajo churro sheep, and I got 3. And it's softer than what you would typically expect a Navajo a churro fleece to feel like. It's a little bit softer. You don't have the Southwest. The sheep that are raised on the East Coast, they don't have that harsher sun-filled life as the sheep that's raised out in Arizona and New Mexico and places like that. So they don't have that sun wear on their fleeces. So the fleeces on the East Coast with the churro sheep, they tend to have more lanolin in them because of the cold weather. And so they tend to feel softer and better condition than the churro out west. So that's Arwen's 3 skeins of his bag of fiber. And so this one is from Windswept Farms. It is a 50-50 merino and alpaca. And so that's what this is. And then next we have, this is some Falkland that my husband and I died. I don't know which one of us died this, so I just say us. This is some Falkland. And it's like, I was trying to get like some coffee colors. I remember when I was spinning those, I was trying to get something that looked kind of like coffee. And then this is some North Country Cheviot, 50% North Country Cheviot and 50% alpaca. Now, the alpaca was a white alpaca blanket from Windswept Farms. You can kind of see the halo from the alpaca. But the North Country is very soft. It almost feels like 100% alpaca. But I know I had this blended at the EcoView Fiber Mill when it was in business. So I had these processed there. They did an amazing job processing those blankets and fleeces and blending them together into the roving. And this is some 20% wool and 80% acrylic. This is some of the Showstopper, and the colorway was Sleepy Sky. And it has some shine to it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it has a little bit of shine to it. But that's what the Showstopper looks like when you spin it up. And my little herd guardian here, that's a Showstopper. That's the Showstopper Sleepy Sky right there. I got like 3 skeins of that for, they were like $2 each when Hobby Lobby was having their sale last year. And it's very soft to the touch. So this is some more Falkland. It's like cream corn, like the peaches and cream corn. That's what it reminds me of. I grew some of that this year. It is an amazing corn. Very, very good. Very, very good. So this is some fiber that Barb gave me from, it was a Liz Souza. I don't know what the colorway was. I can't find the label, but I know it's 80% wool and 20% silk. And so that's this one. And next we have some Falkland that my husband and I dyed. It's real pretty. Gotta make a nice hat or some fingerless mitts. More Falkland that we dyed. So now I got 2 that's similar to each other. So those can be put together. A lot of this fiber is going to be going, after I finish getting my other eye surgery, it's going to be going up on my Etsy shop. So this is some Fabulous Fibers. This was the colorway Scarecrow. This was purchased at my local yarn store a couple years ago. And so this is super, super pretty. It's definitely got an autumnal feel to it, but I wouldn't say this was like scarecrow. It's gorgeous. So next we have this fiber is from Nunco, Nunoco. This is a more fiber that my friend Barb gave me, and the color is a gradient, and the colorway is called Mushrooms. So excuse the crinkling, but it does look like different colored mushrooms you might come across on a walk outside in the fall. It's beautiful. It's a super fine merino. I think it's 23 micron, 21 micron. All right. And next we have, this is some fiber from fully spun. She is a local Virginia dyer. I think she's out of Richmond, Virginia now. But she dyes yarn and she dyes fiber. And so I had two 2-ounce bags, braids of this. And so I had a regular size braid, and then I have like this mini skein that was from those 4 ounces, and it's really pretty. And like the colorway for this one is Aromantic Pride. Okay. And then I have 2 more, and then that's it for the spinning that I've done so far this year. Put these in here. Okay, so this is also from Fully Spun, and this colorway is Gender Fluid Pride, and it was also 2 ounces, and that's what this one looks like spun up. Now the yellow is not yarn, part of the yarn. Those are just my ties. I don't have the yardage on any of these because I didn't figure it out. But it's not hard for me to do because I know my nitty-knotty. So I'll put the yardage on once I get stuff ready to be sold. And then this last one is some Homestead Wool and Gift Farm Ephraisian fiber. And it's very bouncy feeling, very soft, and it's natural. This will probably be considered a natural black, but it's like some grays because as sheep get older, they tend to start going gray, the dark ones. And so it's like they consider a natural black, but in some lights it looks like a dark, super dark brown, not like a commercially black dyed fiber. So that's it. That is all the yarn I've spun so far this year, minus 13 to 14 braids of fiber that I gave away because they were pink. So yeah, I am very happy so far with this year's spinning. And so this is the bag thus far, minus all the ones that's on my desk and the ones that have to be labeled. So minus about you know, all the ones that's on my desk. So that's, hey Steve, how you doing? So that's all the fiber minus the pink yarn that I have spun so far this year. If you missed it, you can hit it up on the replay and you can see all of this gorgeous hand spun yarn. But never fail, I'm spinning again, and I'll have another end of year what I've spun, and then we'll get it weighed so we can see how much yarn I spun this year, the weight. Like I said, my goal this year is the closest I've ever gotten to my 20-pound goal, and I can thank my cataracts for that, because even though I can't see, I can see with my hands to spin, because I've been spinning so long that it's muscle memory. I don't need to see clearly to spin yarn or to crochet certain crochet patterns because they're memorized. And you can feel the stitches. You know how you do your double crochet chain 2. You know, once you get into that rhythm, you're good to go. But I'm gonna have to vacuum in here now because of that stupid bag. It ain't even all gonna fit in here. It's gonna be a 2 bags. 2 bags. All right. So how have you been, Steve? Oh Lord, he's stuttering, y'all. He's stuttering. Need to give him his medication. Need to give you your medication. Oh, I'm sorry. I went to my follow-up appointment today. And the eye is doing great. I have my back to work note. And so I'll go back to work tomorrow. And the note also has the dates for me going back out of work for my surgery, and then until my my next follow-up appointment after that surgery for the right eye. So yeah, I'm doing good. I was hoping it wouldn't be so overcast and stuff today. I wanted to do the, you know, the show the yarn video outside, but because of the weather, I decided to go ahead and get it out of the way and do it today inside. Yes, the eyes. She said that my vision in my left eye is basically 20/20. The only you know, like the only problem I have is that sometimes, but she says partly eye fatigue, and like sometimes it's almost like a little bit of double vision. That's because I'm gonna need, you know, for my distance, I'm gonna need a mild pair of glasses just for some distance stuff. But other than that, the vision is good, real good in the left eye. And yeah, so I can't wait to get the right eye done, because then you kind of feel like you're listening. Like I'm holding my head. I notice I'm holding my head weird, and all of that is because of the fact that the right eye, I'm blind in the right eye. Everything is blurry, and so my eyes, my brain is trying to compensate between the good eye and the bad eye. So if I cover this eye up, everything's a lot better than trying to look through the bad eye. But that's my dominant eye, which is weird because I can't wink that eye, but I can wink my left eye, which is my weaker eye. So yeah, real happy with the surgery. Real happy with the surgery. And then like it took like 15 minutes. You know, the hardest part is sitting still after the surgery and not doing, like, you know, not overdoing it. Not like I couldn't go out in the garden. I still can't go out in the garden for another week, but which won't matter because they're going to do the surgery on this eye, so that'll put me right back to waiting 2 weeks before I can go outside in the garden or be around in the dusty environment and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's that. Very happy being able to see colors again. It makes me wonder how pink was that pink. Because I wouldn't have been actually seeing that pink in its true pinkiness. You know, I just realized that pink to me was like muted, you know. So exactly how bright is that pink, Steve? How bright is it? Because I wouldn't have been seeing the true color of that yarn. Ain't that crazy? So it could have been even brighter Barbie pinky pink than what it looked like to me with my bad eyes. So, and was looking through my dyes. I don't own any pink dye. So that those pink yarns had to be, that fiber had to be used as dye soppers to sop up, after I dye something with reds and dark oranges. So those yarns had to have been, that fiber was from dye soppers just to get the rest of the color out of the water so I can go ahead and keep using the water for other things. So what I've learned from that is don't waste your yarn as your fiber as dye soppers. Just pour the freaking water out and get fresh water. Then you don't have to worry about no pink fiber anymore. Or I could take and use some paper and get a pack of cheap mixed media paper and just dip the mixed media paper in there and let it soak up the exhaust the rest of the dye. And then I can when the paper dries, I can give it to my granddaughter to draw on. No, 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 no. No more pink, pink, pink. Hi, Jen. Hi, Nana Michelle. No more pink, pink, pink. I've just solved my own problem. I don't have to ever worry about pink, pink, pink anymore, except for this freaking head scarf. But I can, since it's wool, I can throw it in a dye bath too. I was trying to cover up my edges and stuff because my hair has grown out so much. From since, and I haven't had it done yet. So I'll be wearing this headscarf for a while until I can get my roots done. Well, now, Michelle, you probably need the same medication that Steve needs. Y'all, you probably need that same medication. Please make sure you get your prescription refilled. We won't say nothing. We won't say nothing about y'all medical needs. And yeah. And so I'm gonna do a watercolor chicken for Miguel. So I was while I was waiting for my appointment, I was doodling in a doctor's office. So doing, I don't know if this focus. And she said, he said you can take one for the team. Steve already took several for the team. There is no more pink. There is no more pink. And I done figured out how not to have no more pink fiber to have to spin. So instead of using fiber as a dye stopper, I'm going to use mixed media paper, dry the paper, and give the paper to my granddaughter to draw on. So that solves my problem of ever having to spin pink fiber again, unless it's a commission. That's it. And I'm going to have a pink-itis surcharge up there. So if I have to dye some fiber pink and then spin it for somebody, you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay me for the suffering to have to do it. Oh my God. But yeah, this is, let me see. So this is the bag. Like, y'all go look back. I showed all of this yarn I've spun this year from March until yesterday. So these are just, I can get it to come over here without dropping all of it. And so these are the ones I still got to put labels on. This bag right here. But that's all, those two bags are all the fiber that I've spun so far this year. Where did that come from? And so when I have scrap yarn like this, what I do is I cut it and I use it as ties on my hand spun when I'm skeins it up. So I'll take it and I'll fold it. And then I have this Ziploc bag that I keep it in. And then I just use it as ties. So if you have to reskein something and you're a spinner, don't throw away your little scraps. You can reuse those scraps as ties for your yarn. You don't have to buy no special cottons or nothing else. Just use your leftover yarn as ties. Yep. And so I'll put that in my little Ziploc bag over there after a while. Steve says Steve isn't suffering, that is pure love. See, I can read the chat. That is why it's so freaking amazing having this eye. And I might have to look a little closer because this other eye, is screwing everything up. But I can read the chat. That is amazing considering before I just fixed the eye and before I got cataracts, I was like very, very, very nearsighted. Like I think it was like minus 4 point something in one eye and minus almost 4 in the other eye. That's how nearsighted I was before I got the cataracts. So when I got the cataracts, I even with the strongest prescription of cataracts she could give, strongest prescription of lenses that she could give me to see with, it was a -9 in the left eye because she didn't have a -10 for the left eye. So she gave me the strongest one she had for the left eye, which was a -9. And then she had like a -10. I was using a -10 for my right eye. And that was to see using a freaking microscope. I was using a microscope and those contacts, and I still couldn't see because those cataracts were growing, covering up everything. And yeah, so I can't wait for them to do the right eye. And my eyes look tired because they dilated them today, so they're like still dilated. Like I got like the things up under that. Like this is like my gift from the surgery when they use that retractor thing to hold your eye open. So it's still a little tender up under here, but the actual eye feels great. So, and I'm just amazed. So yeah, I'll go back to work tomorrow for a whole week, and then I'm out for surgery on the 1st, and then I'll go back to work after my follow-up appointment on the 8th of October for the right eye. And then after that, I'll go back a month later. And that's when they will check both eyes. And then they'll give me a prescription that if I need a prescription for driving for distance, that's when, if I need a prescription after the right eye. If not, I won't need any glasses or anything. It all depends on how the eyes compensate after that 1 month appointment. She said sometimes if they wait, they'll have you wait another 2 weeks after that just to see if there's any more healing changes in your eyes, getting your brains getting used to having both eyes being able to see again. And so she said sometimes they'll wait 6 weeks after the last surgery and then they'll decide whether or not you need glasses. She said, well, until then, you still can't drive because you feel unbalanced is the best way I can describe it. I feel off. Like when I'm walking, even just sometimes just looking at something, it's not like a vertigo thing. You just feel unbalanced. You feel like you're listening to the side. And so they don't want to take no chances of that become some type of reaction while you're driving. Like, you feel like you're listening, but you're not. So you might jerk the wheel or something, I guess. And so they still don't want you driving until they're sure everything is good. Yeah, but the thing about it, Nana Michelle, like the insurance company, like, well, who gave you permission to stay out of work? I could not see. I cannot see. The doctor told y'all I have to have cataract surgery. I cannot see. It's not a permission thing. What am I going to do? How am I going to get to work? I can't drive to work. I can't do nothing when I'm at. If I was at work, I can't read. I can't see. I can't even see no more using that dang on magnifying glass. That's how I was working. And it's like the insurance company doesn't seem to understand. I was having to use a magnifying glass just to make it through the day. And even then, by the end of the day, I have a drawer. Like Fred Sanford, I had a drawer for like several pair of different prescriptions of reading glasses that I was constantly changing because my vision was literally changing. As the tired of my eyes got, my vision was changing. By the end of the day, I could barely see with the magnifying glass. My vision was so blurry just from being tired. And it's like I was when I saw the doctor today and everything, she said, wow, this is an amazing improvement of your vision before your cataract surgery. She said, because they have my records from my eye doctor, because my eye doctor is the one that, my regular eye doctor is the one that referred me to them. So they have the records sent over from my regular eye doctor. And she was looking and she was like, even before this, you were pretty nearsighted. You were minus 4.8 in one eye and minus almost 4 in the other eye. And she said, and then they took you as far as they could till you could have your surgery. I said, yeah, but even before the surgery, I couldn't do anything because it no longer worked because the cataract was basically blocking all the light, so everything was jacked up. So yeah, it's amazing to go from not being able to see anything, even with the magnifying glass, to being able to read. I can read now. You know what I'm saying? I see colors now, like all the colors now. And I was just like so amazed at how freaking dulled down cataracts make colors. I just could not believe it. Yeah, I just could not believe how dulled down everything was. Now that I have, like, if I do this with this eye and look at these, don't look red. These scissors handles don't look red. They look more of like a orangey brown color, but they're red. They're red. That's how bad it is. And not only that, like, to focus to actually see these, this is how close the scissors need to be to that eye to actually focus on them. And even then, the majority is only the part that's directly at this corner of my eye right here that I can see. Everything else is blurry because that's how much the cataract is covering up in that eye. This is my son's baby blanket. This blanket is 26 years old. 26 years old. I finished crocheting this while we were walking around the commissary getting groceries and stuff for the house. What I was having like little labor twinges and stuff. And yeah, so that's how old this blanket is. 26 years old. And all the other kids, the grandkids, have been on this blanket. So yeah, if he ever leaves home, get married or anything like that, then I might give it to him. If not, his sisters will hold on to it for him until the day that he might actually need it. Make him sad when he's not wearing them. Oh. Well, I don't have to worry about glasses until I have to worry about glasses. So at least like with reading and stuff like that, just close up stuff, I'm fine. And that's what he tried to correct my prescription for. It was the baby yarn. And when I was in California, where we lived at in California, the Walmart there, their yarn aisle was like an end cap. They didn't have, like, I had to work with what I had to get my hands on. I wasn't ordering yarn and stuff like that back then. I wasn't as into yarn as I am now. So I could only use what they had available to make this blanket. And this was 4 colors that I could get for sure at that store. Was this pink, this green, this yellow. He was born in August. So these are springtime colors. Yeah. And before I left California, that end cap was even gone. That Walmart just did not cater to crafters. They didn't even have like fabric and stuff like that. You had to go to the Walmart in Escondido, and I was in San Diego. So if you wanted to get yarn, you had to go to the Walmart all the way out in Escondido from where we lived at. That was a drive. And I was not into that traffic there either. I would have to wait for my husband to be back home because he was on his dentist when it moved over there to California. So they were doing fit reps and training and stuff. So the ship was out 2 weeks, back in a week, out 2 weeks, back in a week. So he was constantly gone during that pregnancy. So yeah, I had no choice. Plus, I didn't know what I was having. Whenever they tried to sex my son, he was always turned away from the scanner. And they even, like, because he was butt down, they tried to churn him. And they were hoping they would be able to scan while they had him, when they churned him, to see what sex he was. And because he was in a breech position, and they got him turned around, and the doctor ran over to the ultrasound machine and brought it over. He said, I want to see what this baby is. He said, this is a long baby. This is a big baby. I want to see what the baby is. And I told him, I said, it's a boy. I said, none of my girls did this. None of my girls were breech. None of my girls grew this big. None of my girls wanted to stay on my side. I said, the girls were, everybody and their mama knew it was a girl, you know. And so he hurried up and he brought the ultrasound machine over. They were like high-fiving themselves for a successful turning the baby from the breech position. And all of a sudden, it looked like a fight was happening inside my stomach. My stomach was doing like you could see the skin, and you could see feet pushing and stretching and pushing and stretching. And he was like, no, 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 no. And he's trying to scan. But my son was getting right back to where he was. And before he could get the scan to see what sex the baby was, he was exactly right back into the position he wanted to be in. And the doctor was just like that. I wish you could see the look of devastation on that man. He was gonna cry. Hey, EJ. He looked like he was gonna cry. And the nurses were just laughing like, that is a stubborn baby. He was like just moving the scanner, just moving it all around, just like he could not believe this baby went right back to the same position it was in before, right back into his breached, you can't see nothing position. And the nurse said, usually when we get babies like this, she said they turn right the day you go into labor, that baby's gonna turn and be head down. And she was right. That day that I went into labor, he turned. But we didn't know what he was until he was born that day, for sure. But I was positive it was a boy. With my daughters, I never had morning sickness. I didn't even start showing until my last trimester with my daughters. With my son, I looked like I was carrying triplets. My feet were swelling. I was borderline diabetic. All this stuff was going on with my pregnancy with my son. Almost miscarrying, all kind of crazy stuff. And that's when I said, it's a boy. It's testosterone poisoning. I know it's a boy. And I was right. It was a boy. All that problem. But then he's a child that don't give you no problem. So, hey, it's a win-win. So how is Lady Jane doing after you soaked her foot? So I'm working on the chicken idea. So probably tonight I pulled out my watercolor pencils and my watercolors. Some of my watercolors are over there. Some of them right here. So I'll have to get my watercolor pad. So I'm gonna try to do the watercolor chickens. There's a couple of tutorials on YouTube. And they're saying, "Did y'all already find out the sex?" And my husband said, "Yeah, they think it's a girl." And the nurse laughed out loud. Oh, I told my daughter, I said, "You having a boy?" She didn't believe me. And Luna doesn't want a boy. Luna wants a sister. She doesn't want a boy. She doesn't want a brother. She wants a sister. Nope, not a girl. Oh. So I was at this is what I was doing while I was waiting for my appointment today, doodling. So that's the other chicken that I did at the doctor office, and I was like, oh, I kind of like that. And so then I did this one on a page by itself to use. So I like doing like monsters more so than people. But I do people. Mushrooms, all kinds of stuff. This is like I started this sketchbook in 2017, I think, and I still haven't finished it because I'll put it down, just be concentrating on something else. Yes, I have 4, 3 girls, and then the last one was a boy. Yep. In let me see, 1989, 1992, 1997, and 1999. Those are the years. 2 in May and 2 in July. May 1st and May 18th, July the 7th, and July the 31st. So I got a 7-11 baby. And it was funny because her dad was a manager at 7-Eleven after he got out of the military for about 8 or 9 years. So 7-Eleven, that's when they do the free Slurpee. So we're like, let's go get your birthday present, your free Slurpee. Oh, oh. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm spinning this brown alpaca, and now I gotta sweep my floor because that bag, new bag, I guess I put in the cart. I said it's from Wegmans for groceries, but the lining is falling up, it's peeling, it's getting all over my yarn. So we put it back in his car, use it for like a grocery bag again. Uh yeah, so let me ask you, have you seen any of those Japanese garden spiders yet? They've made it up north. They've made it up north past Virginia. They've been found in Pennsylvania. Somebody found one in Pennsylvania. The things, and it was. I'm gonna be walking around with a can of bug spray in my hand this next gardening season if they're already in Virginia in this area. I haven't seen nobody talking about them on any of my like local gardener things or posting any pictures of them or anything. So they think the one that they found in Pennsylvania hitchhiked up there off of, because they balloon. That's how they've been spreading. They balloon. So they think that one got there hitchhiking on a vehicle, and that's how it got to Virginia. I mean to Pennsylvania. Okay. It's the back Najat. Hello. So, well, I'm gonna let y'all go. I gotta find me something to eat now that I've completed my task I wanted to get done today. And I got to find, let's see which kind am I using. No, I can't flip it. It won't flip around over there. So, like, before I moved my yarn behind me, it used to be my bookcases. And so I still got a bookcase over there. I have 2 bookcases there, a bookcase there, and a bookcase there. I have lots and lots of books. All my interests. So from bread dough, I used to make bread dough art, knitting, spinning, and some weaving books, a lot of art books, and like anime books, all kinds of crafty books. So yeah, I need to start destashing some of the ones that I don't use or don't like. So see you guys later. So whoever's gonna be on later, I think VJ is Tuesday. I think VJ is gonna be on later maybe. If not, whoever's gonna be on, I'll see if I can catch up with y'all. But yeah, I got to go try and find me something to eat. Cause I'm getting hungry. So y'all take care. Thank y'all for stopping by.